she is. Ready? Good afternoon. Welcome to the Historic Landmark Commission. May we have roll call, please?
Chairman LaBiche is absent. Commissioner Avery,
Present.
Commissioner Bell. Commissioner Berube,
Here.
Commissioner Crawford. Present. Commissioner Goodness. Here. Commissioner Kelly. Absent. Commissioner Macon.
Here.
Commissioner Provo. Absent. Commissioner Segee. Absent. Commissioner Templeton.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay. Have we all had a chance to look over the minutes in the meeting? If anyone has any corrections, please let us know. If not, do I have a motion?
Make a motion that we approve the minutes.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the minutes
Second.
and a second. All in favor? They've asked that we now show with roll call vote, correct?
Just for the action items.
Just for the action items, okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Minutes is read. Thank you. Okay, our first item is PZ 2023-329.
Okay. Elizabeth Jean Stark is requesting a certificate of appropriateness to construct a new accessory structure at 2645 Long Avenue. The structure will be located in the rear yard and used for personal storage and will be visible from the street right-of-way. The accessory structure will be made of wood with horizontal siding to match the home. It will have a shingle roof with a pitch rising 5 inches every 12 inches. It will feature an overhead door and a swing door at the front. There will also be an attached breezeway from the swing door to the back door of the home. The breezeway will not be visible from the right-of-way. The setbacks displayed on the site plan are in compliance with Section 280324 District Area and Height Regulations of our city's ordinance. Staff recommends approval of the request with the following conditions. 1, the accessory structure be painted to match the home. 2, all applicable permits and inspections shall be obtained through the Building Codes Department. The home is not listed in the Spare Beaumont survey. On the screen, you will see this is the subject property. Don't worry, they already got approval for the driveway. And then in the back, past the house is where the proposed accessory structure will be. And this is a elevation image of what the proposed structure will look like.
Okay, thank you. Any questions of staff?
So the structure will be at the end of the driveway or behind the house?
At the end of the driveway with a breezeway attaching the swing door to the back door.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions of staff? Okay, is the applicant in the audience? No? Okay. Do we have a motion or discussion?
I make a motion that we approve PZ 2023-329 with the conditions that staff mentioned, conditions 1 and 2.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Is there a second? And a second. All in favor, please go through the roll call vote.
Commissioner Avery. Commissioner Bell.
Yes.
Commissioner Berube.
Yes.
Commissioner Crawford. Yes. Commissioner Goodness.
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly.
Yes.
Commissioner Macon.
Yes.
Commissioner Templeton.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on to file PZ 2023-375.
Good afternoon. Roy Malvo is requesting a certificate of appropriateness to install lattice around the crawl space under his home at 2346 Broadway. The purpose of the lattice will be to keep animals out from under the home. The lattice will be a traditional wood lattice in the diamond pattern and be painted a cream color to match the trim and porch. Staff recommends approval of the request. The home is not listed in the Spare Beaumont survey. On your screens is the subject property and an example of the traditional diamond pattern lattice that will be painted to match the structure. And the applicant is in the audience.
Okay, thank you. Is there any questions of staff? Yes, ma'am. Ms. Malvo or Roy Malvo? Yes. Yes, ma'am. If you'd come up and give us your name and address, please.
How everybody doing? My name is Kathy Malvo, and I live at 2346 Broadway Street. And I'm here to hear you guys give a yay or nay about the lattice. The reason why we want this lattice is because we have critters, going in and out, and we had to have our ducts fixed several times because the cats or whatever it is pulling it down, and we were losing air. And also, we had a homeless guy taking a bath onto the left side of the house, storing his clothes underneath the house.
Oh, my.
Yeah, and so maybe this will help, keep the people and the animals, from going out of the house. Man, so I just hope you guys, agree with, what we want. It would really help, and
Okay.
I really appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. Any questions of Ms. Malvo? Thank you, Ms. Malvo. Oh, I'm sorry, one more. Yes, sir.
Well, only way I'm, going to get somebody else to do it for us, so I really don't know what they would do, but I imagine they would nail it or whatever. I don't know.
Building a frame?
Okay, what would be the best idea? I really don't know. We were just gonna put the lattice up, and if there needs to be something else done to it, we'll do it. I really don't know. Yes, we've been talking to contractor.
Then they should be able to put the frame, because I've seen it done in other homes where they just pull a frame just to give it, like you said, to attach it to the home so it's sturdy. It's more sturdy for preventing what you're trying to prevent. So,
Okay, then.
Okay. Any other questions of Ms. Malvo?
I don't have a
Yes, sir.
question, but a comment from this picture. It seems that you have a very beautiful maintained home.
Thank you.
And that's a very compliment to this community. It's nice.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Malvo.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Do we have a motion or discussion?
I have a motion that we approve it.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
And a second. All in favor? We're going to do the roll call vote.
I'm sorry, Ms. Macon.
Yes,
Is
I'm
it
sorry.
an approval with the condition of a frame as requested, or is this an approval just to apply the lattice?
Okay, you want to discuss your motion?
Mine is just to apply the lattice. If she can get that to stabilize it, I guess that would be great. I mean, that would help her in what she's trying to deal with. But my motion is just simply to apply the lattice as she requested.
So to clarify your motion, it's to approve
Yeah, what
and she decides.
Yeah.
Okay, is there a discussion regarding that?
Helps.
Her whole idea is to keep animals from underneath. If it's not structural, then the animals can just push it out. If it's just hanging, if it's just nailed to the trim board, the bottom is going to be real flexible, and the animals can push it out. People can, whatever. Would like the idea of, with the stipulation of it being picture framed in to give it some more rigidity. That's what I would think would be, beneficial for her, and because we've seen it throughout the neighborhood where they just nail it to the fascia of the porch, and eventually it gets knocked around and falls and twists, because this is lattice. It's not a very structural kind of material. So if it's not stiffened up some way, it's going to fall apart eventually.
Okay,
If you have your books with you, if you look at page 247, in the lower right-hand corner, it's a tiny picture, but you can kind of see from the side angle and a little bit from the front that has been applied. It similarly with the frame. And it does give it also a cleaner cleaner look.
What would you like to see? Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Malvo, can you come back up, please, ma'am? Go ahead.
I really do agree with you about the frame because he's right. You know, if it's not completely told,
Yes, ma'am.
the animals can come right back in there and do, because we have possums too going in there.
Okay, so you are agreeable to that?
Yes, I am.
Okay, all right, thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Hey, would you like to clarify your motion?
Okay, my motion can be clarified that she will also make the adjustments that we have suggested to stabilize the lattice.
Framed.
Framing it, by framing it, yes.
Okay. All right, we have a motion to approve. Do we still have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to approve and a second. May we have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Avery,
Yes.
Commissioner Bell? Yes. Commissioner Berube?
Yes.
Commissioner Crawford? Yes. Commissioner Goodness?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Macon?
Yes.
Commissioner Segee?
Yes.
Commissioner Templeton?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to file PZ 2023-384.
Good afternoon. Ricky Pinkston is requesting a certificate of appropriateness to expand the driveway at 2555 Harrison Avenue. The expansion would make the driveway a total of 12 feet in width, starting at the property line, extending to the rear of the structure, where the pavement would expand to a 28-foot width. The expansion would not extend in front of the main structure. Staff recommends approval of the request with the following conditions. The new pavement shall comply with Section 2803-2418 District Area and Height Regulations of the City of Beaumont Code of Ordinances, maintaining a 2-foot offset from the side property line. All applicable permits and inspections be obtained through the Building Codes Department. The home is listed in the 1991 Spare Beaumont Survey, with the significance listed as the example of an upper middle class housing built during the World War II era. On your screen is the subject property
What's your name?
and a more close-up of the driveway. So essentially, the driveway would extend over to the left just slightly, but not completely in front of the structure, would maintain a straight line all the way back to where it would expand out in front of the existing garage. And the applicant is not present.
Okay, thank you. Any questions of staff?
Apart, the inside of them, and the wood. You will, there's so many things in this house, I don't understand why
I'm sorry, Commissioner, can you please turn your microphone on? Thank you.
so they're going to tear down the garage in the back. Can you put the photo on?
No, ma'am, the garage would remain. The pavement would stop in front of the garage. There's actually a separation between the structure from what Mr. Pinkston was saying. Mr. Pinkston is just the contractor. He is not the property owner.
So they're going to widen it into the yardway, like where this gate is? Not in the
So
front?
essentially, it would start behind the gate where you can already see that there is kind of a dirt path. The total width of the concrete would be about 12 feet.
Isn't that an air conditioning unit? there
12
on the
feet?
left?
Sorry.
It's a little further in and inset. This picture is very deceiving, and I apologize. With the gate, there's not a way for me to get a better photo of it, really. If I go a little further north, it's kind of blocked by the pillars. But essentially where you see the,
I'm talking about this, right? Isn't this
yes, ma'am, that's already,
what's that right there?
it is an AC unit, and they would not be removing it from what Mr. Pinkston has said. It's essentially going to follow the line of the dirt that's already there, and they're just going to meet that back expansion joint. You can kind of see where the pavement already expands over. Yes, ma'am. So from the inside of the fence back, they'll be expanding that existing portion to the 12 feet. Instead, right now it's 8 feet wide, and he's saying that when you park, essentially you open your door and you step out into the grass. They'd like to widen it to allow to step out into the concrete.
There's plenty of room in the back. I don't know if you can tell from this, so there's a 2-car garage in the rear, and there's another 2-car garage where that, you see that
Air
air
conditioning units.
like
conditioning
AC
unit, so
unit.
there's already 4 parking spaces. Plus, if you did park outside of the garage, you could put another 2, so essentially you could put 6 to the back. Why are they asking for more on the
I don't
front?
believe it's for parking purposes. I believe this is part of their start of rehabbing and fixing things. This is one small fix that they can get done now as they continue on through the process. And that's just with me speaking with the contractor.
It's gonna be 12-foot all the way back.
So right now, the width of the driveway, you're saying is only 8 feet?
Yes, ma'am.
They want to expand it to 12,
Yes, ma'am. Then they would not be
run it
changing
back,
this
and that'll make it
approach.
28 feet, right?
Well, and just in the rear where it's already a larger expansion, so it's gonna start in the front at 12, and then where it'll stop in front of those garages will be a total of 28 foot in width.
But it's already 28 feet.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
ma'am.
just wants to replace it.
Yeah, they're essentially just replacing it, but they are expanding the portion in the front behind the gate. They
And
will
they're-
not,
Are they adding this walkway here?
from what I understood, the walkway was existing. That's out the front door towards the front gate. There's a walkway.
But it's more over here. It's not straight. It's a curved walkway that goes from the front door to the gate. From this,
I can verify that with the contractor, and we can come back to that item. I can let him know if he intends to change it, we would need to know. From my understanding, everything Mr. Pinkston is doing is just the driveway here, and they would not be changing the approach. The approach would remain the size it is. It's just past the gate where they would be expanding.
Just for clarification, okay, it's currently 8 feet.
Yes, ma'am.
They're not tearing the whole thing out, they're just doing an add-on, is that correct?
It'll be all new pavement.
All new pavement?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, any other discussion?
I guess I don't understand why they're doing this. What's the point of doing this?
In speaking with the contractor, it was just the start of many. This is just the first item on their kickoff list. The request, if you'll view in your packets, the request on the actual application. They're replacing a number of windows, some siding. Replacing 15 windows with same size, style.
Final window.
Paint the exterior body door color to change the trim to white. Replace damaged siding with same size wood siding. So there is a number of requests for this property of a number of things that they're already repairing and doing. This is just the one thing that does have to come before you for your approval.
Okay, so the other things are ongoing, they don't come before us?
Yes, ma'am. They're things that staff can approve over the counter.
Okay. Okay, all right. Any other discussion or a motion?
I'm going to make a motion that we approve PZ 2023-384
8 foot
with the
here.
staff conditions.
8 foot from here to
I
here.
second it.
Okay,
They go on the other side of the gate. They're probably gonna add 2 foot on this side and 2 foot on this side. For a
is that-
total of
can we,
12.
on her motion, can we stipulate not a new walkway right there? Since there already is one going out of their front door?
Did they, well, I guess the request didn't have anything to do with the walkway, did it?
But this
So,
drawing that's been
yeah.
proposed has a driveway a walkway that goes straight and it's near the parking,
Yeah.
the driveway.
I can clarify my motion to say that it's for the driveway only, not any walkways.
And I'll verify with the contractor, Mr. Pinkston, to make sure, because my understanding was he wasn't doing that. It was just the driveway.
Is he the contractor and the new owner?
He is just the contractor. He is not the new owner.
Because it's listed that he's the owner on here.
Was that whenever they make the application, I would say they are required to fill out fields. If he didn't have the contact information, he most likely just put in his information.
okay, would you like to clarify your motion?
I make the motion that we approve PZ 2023-384 with the staff recommended conditions and to clarify that this is only an approval for the driveway, not anything to do with the walkway.
I second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion to approve in a second. We'll have a roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Avery,
Yes.
Commissioner Bell,
Yes.
Commissioner Berube,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawford,
Yes.
Commissioner Goodness,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Commissioner Macon,
Yes.
Commissioner Segee,
Yes.
Commissioner Templeton.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to file PZ 2023-392.
Alberto Perez is requesting a certificate of appropriateness to enclose and resize the windows and change the front door to the home located at 1955 Long Avenue. He intends to change the front windows on the north side of the home from one large window into two 32 by 60 4-pane windows that are side by side. He intends to enclose 2 windows on the west side of the structure, 3 windows on the east side of the structure, and 2 on the south side, making for a total of 7 windows to be enclosed. The windows would be closed with a like siding to match the home. And lastly, Mr. Perez intends to change the front door from an existing solid craftsman-style door to a craftsman-style door with a transom light. The home would be classified as a national-style home with its gable front wing, and the style was extremely popular in the South and typically featured hall and parlor type entries. Most homes featured a large number of windows with prominent windows and shutters along the front gable and wing. Examples of national architecture can be seen in a Field Guide to American Houses, pages 92 to 93. The request to eliminate a number of windows on the side of the home will substantially change the design of this structure. The request to change from one large window to 2 individual windows side by side would change the appearance of this structure, however seems appropriate based on the national architecture. The request to change the front door seems appropriate with the design of the home. Staff recommends denial of the request to eliminate the windows on the east and west sides of the structure and recommends approval of the request to eliminate the 2 windows on the south of the home and change the front 2 windows into 4 individual windows, and to change the front door with the following conditions. Removals of the windows to the south of the home shall be replaced with a like siding to match the home. Shutters on the north side of the home shall be reinstalled after the alteration is complete. The front door shall be approved by planning staff before installation, and all applicable permits and inspections shall be obtained through the Building Codes Department. The home is not listed in the Spare Beaumont survey. All right, I know we had a lot of items there. So
Yeah, you sure do.
the first request is the front windows here that you see, the 2 windows. These are currently large one-piece windows. He is having trouble finding windows of this size that are ready to go and install. He has found individual windows that are single of essentially each side, and he would take instead of one large window, it would be 2 windows put side to side with the same look with the shutters, and they would be framed appropriately, such as required. Additionally, on the front of the house here, we would change the front door from a solid wood door to a wood door with a transom light. He's provided a couple of options. He provided a couple of options via phone of what they would look like, but just a small traditional transom on the top. He's looked at both square, half moons, whatever commission feels would be appropriate. On this side of the home, in your packets, I had provided the photos of which windows would be removed. So here, not the very first window that we see, but the next 3 windows. So let me grab so this window, and this window to be removed. Again, staff is recommending denial of this because it does remove a large number of the windows seen with the traditional national style. I apologize for this picture. It's kind of the best view I could get with the vehicle that was in the street. But he would be looking to remove these 2 windows here. And again, staff is recommending denial of that due to the style of the national. The windows that we are approving to be removed are the 2 windows located on the rear of the structure that you would not be able to see from any right-of-way or the street. We feel that would not be an opposed item.
Why is he wanting to take all the windows out?
So in discussions with him at the counter, it seemed a lot of it was based on placement of the windows in each room. Like he said the kitchen has like 5 windows. And it's just so many windows in the structure that he's having a hard time, I guess, maintaining his energy efficiency. I did recommend, upgrading some of the windows to a newer style because we can, replace them. They don't have to go back with those old wood windows. But I think he was just trying to eliminate a number of them.
Okay, thank you. Questions of staff? That's a lot.
I know, that was what I was trying
Yeah.
to.
Is the applicant here?
He is not. I do have one more slide for you that kind of helps
Okay.
show. So looking at this, the porch is at the front of the structure. And you can see the windows with the X's surrounding them are the ones that he's wishing to remove. A large number of windows.
Okay, any questions of staff?
I'm sorry, porch is at the rear of the structure.
Is this color on the chart of colors?
So it is very similar to a color that's already on the chart of colors. However, looking back at it, it's not quite what we typically would have approved. But if it's been this color and we've approved it to be maintained, it's not something we can make them change.
So when you talked to him and you told him what, I'm assuming that you denied this or recommend denial and approval of this, what was his reaction? Was he willing to do this? Or,
He really wanted to eliminate a number of the windows in the bedroom. I explained to him that because of the type of house, it wasn't likely that it would be approved. He was really concerned about these front windows being changed from the large singular windows to the two. I think that's his biggest ask.
okay.
But you recommend approving the two front windows as long as they're individual, but they're put together, so it looks
Yes,
like
ma'am.
one. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, as long as they're framed appropriately and that there would be a small frame in between the two because of how they'd have to be installed.
Trim in between them.
Yes, sir.
Understand.
And then we also included the condition for the shutters to go back because those tend to stay gone.
Don't you have to have a bedroom? Doesn't it have to have a window?
So, in
was
speaking with our building official, they do have to have some kind of exit window. But it doesn't say, there's not a minimal, it has to have at least one.
One,
But
that's what I thought.
it doesn't have to have 5.
Well, the bedrooms don't have 5, do they?
Well, that's what he was saying, that where this front one here is, to the left, he's saying that first window there and the 2 front ones on the side, it's all one room. So it's 3 in that one bedroom.
Can you go back to the drawing, yeah.
It looks like here he wants to remove one window from each bedroom and the bathroom.
And additionally, he didn't include it on this one because I told him that the rear windows were not something as much of a concern, but the 2, one of the windows on that rear side back there where the bedroom is one that he's also wanting to remove. It's included in the packet.
Question, you said something about the shutters having to be put back?
Yes, a lot of times whenever we approve changes to front windows, shutters come off and they never go back. So we've included a condition that the shutters, once they've replaced the windows, that they have to put the shutters back on the structure.
Now, why do the shutters have to go back when they're not a permanent,
It's a typical feature of the national styles homes.
what now?
A typical feature of the national style architecture, their front windows had shutters.
But wasn't that something that was put there probably after the home was built?
It could be, just based on what the books say and typical readings of the national style architecture. Most of their front gables and front wings had shutters on them.
Okay. Discussion? Or motion? Mr. Perez, the owner, current, and do we know how long he's owned the property?
No, ma'am, I did
Looks
not.
like he's done a lot of work.
Yeah, I think he's started on the inside from what I could tell in conversations with him is they did a lot of the flooring work. They've done a lot of the updates to the wires and things like that, which all we checked had permits. Now it's just time to start on the outside.
Okay.
Is it that he just couldn't be here today
I'm not sure.
with all that work that he's wanting to do? I would think that he would want to perhaps try to convince us.
Yeah, I say, I always, we always send out the notifications of when the meetings are, and anytime they're at the counter and they're doing the applications, we provide to them the time, date, all of that. So he was made aware of the date of the meeting.
Okay. Since the applicant is not in the audience to ask any further questions, is there a motion or discussion on this file?
I personally don't have a problem with the door or replacing the two front windows with two windows put together. You know, I don't have a problem with that. I do think we're, taking these windows out toward the front of the house where you can really see it is a problem. I don't have a problem with, let's say, the back ones that you mentioned, or maybe even that third window for the bath side that's further back on the house, but those closer windows. And then I question what this going to look like when we try to slap some pieces of siding up there. I mean, we're going to take all that siding down and put new siding.
So when I did speak with him about that, he has some extra siding from when they redid the garage. They replaced the garage with same siding. It is the same size and style as the home. So he said he did have siding available to go from there to there.
But not just to put where the window was cut out. That's my question.
No, I would say, so part of that is, the inspection process through building codes. They would go out and ensure that it is done properly to code and to standard.
Okay. Would you like to make a motion?
I will make a motion that we approve PZ 2023-392 for the door, the front door, pending approval of staff, and the front windows to be replaced as long as they're placed together and the shutters are put back after the fact.
Per staff recommendations.
For staff recommendations. My motion is going to be to deny removing the bathroom window on that left side. You see that? And the other side windows that are close, it's a little bit hard for me to read this, but is that 4 toward the front? I can't tell if there's an X on this other one. Is there really just 1 in the left side bedroom and 2 in the living room on the side?
So 2 in the living room on the right side. We have 1 in the left bedroom, 1 in the left bathroom, and 1 in the left bedroom. And
Okay,
additionally, the 2 windows on the rear.
okay, all right. So I'm sure it's really muddied what I said now, but we'll try it again. So my motion is to deny removing windows
East
on the front bedrooms at the east side, the bedrooms on the front bedroom, and the windows on the living room on the right side. I think we should deny those. And I don't have a problem with removing the bathroom window or the rear bedroom windows or anything on the back of the house.
So just to clarify, you're denying the windows on the east and west sides, correct?
Toward the front.
Okay.
The front
And then you're
rooms.
approving the windows on the south,
If that's the
Right, the back
south.
of the
correct, the back.
Back of the house.
Okay.
I don't know
It's,
which.
what she's speaking about is the same recommendations that the staff has
Right.
recommended.
Yeah,
Okay.
except that,
Except I think what she's saying is she's okay with removing the bath window and the back bedroom
Yeah.
window on the left.
yes.
So, and Ms. Susan, this might help. So what I have written down is Commissioner Goodness, approval of the door, the front windows, the rear windows, the shutters per staff recommendations, in addition to removing the bedroom and bathroom window on the
Bathroom on the east, bedroom on the
Yeah.
south.
east side of the house.
And denying removing windows from the front bedroom or the the living room.
Yes, ma'am.
That, everybody understand my
Sounds good.
motion?
Okay, yes. Okay, we have a motion.
I
Do
second
we have
it.
a second?
I second.
Okay, may we have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Avery,
Yes.
Commissioner Bell,
Yes.
Commissioner Berube,
Yes.
Commissioner Crawford,
Yes.
Commissioner Goodness,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly,
Yes.
Macon,
Here, yes.
Commissioner Segee,
Yes.
Commissioner Templeton.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Then anything else with staff on this part? I know we have our update.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. And if we can get our updates on what's going on in the neighborhood?
Good afternoon. We have 10 new historic violations, I'm sorry. 1 historic reinspection, 2 new JV violations, 1 JV owner compliance, 4 JV reinspections, 2 JV tag removal, 5 new litter violations, 14 litter reinspections, 15 new weed violations, 59 new weed re-inspections, 10 city cut inspections, a total of 123.
You've been busy. You've been busy.
I'm sorry, I know
Yes, ma'am.
everyone's finishing up and packing up, but the applicant for item number 1 has joined us. If there was any further questions about the proposed new accessory building on Long.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions or comments regarding that? No?
Just for funsies, no?
I think we're good. Okay, then the meeting is now adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Commission.
And Mayor, thank you for attending. We appreciate it.